When we're talking cyber, it is a completely different ballgame. First things first, if it's malicious, it is trying to do different things that you need to try to find. And it's like following a needle in a haystack that's completely or continually moving. And
Mhm.
so it's not just the identification of a failure or, a problem. It's the identification of what's happening. How do I know where they are? What are they doing? What's the impact right now? How many are there? How are they hitting you? What's the different strategies? And then that's the IT side where they're trying to find out stuff. What
Mhm.
typically happens is executives are engaged a lot sooner in the process because it has huge implications for the business, huge implications for customers. And so you want to be involved a lot sooner in that process. You're trying to interact with folks that may or may not know what's going on to give you an idea of how you're compromised. And then if you start getting into a ransom type situation, you need to be in a position to properly negotiate. The you also need to be able to start communicating to regulating bodies. If you are governed by things like a HIPAA compliance or PCI, you need to start getting a game plan going to see how you're going to communicate that. And
Mhm.
then once it's actually been restored or service has been brought back online, you then need to have a windfall effect in that you need to start figuring out, okay, so what's been compromised. If my bank account was compromised, you need to go through and start working with your bank and start figuring out and demonstrating to them what your position was from a cyber hygiene perspective historically. They don't really care that you're HIPAA compliant. They want to know what you've been doing to safeguard your environment, to
Mhm.
safeguard the information that you've got that gained someone access to your accounts for money. And so here you are, maybe you need to make a payroll, and you're going to be talking to these people trying to explain to them what you did just so that they can release some funds so that you can allow your business to go on. Then you're going to have to deal with filing insurance claims. Your cyber insurance policy may or may not cover certain situations, and you'll need to demonstrate your position throughout the event that took place, so that you can at least try to be able to get something through your claim. A lot of times, things are not covered, and we find out the hard way. And then you've got all the regulating bodies that are going to come in, and they'll want to see exactly what was done because they're going to be looking at everything that happened to assess for fines.
Mhm.
And then you've got the potential for class action lawsuits, individual lawsuits. So you're going to have a lot of work to do with your attorney. So all this to say that your regular IT outage is a lot less complex and many times a lot less impactful to all of your business and all of your customers, and has less repercussions than the cyber event does. So
Mhm.
it's very, very, very interesting having worked on both sides of it from an IT perspective and from an executive perspective as to how it's chaotic and how you need to manage through that.